him, but he's been able to push past that. He's been able to conquer it.
Well, I mean, good for Philadelphia. You do have Elk, right? If Neptuno was not able to go, Elk a very solid main support. So Atlanta, let's start things off here. 3 tanks, 3 supports. Philly going to pull out something a little bit different. So triple DPS with an Ana here to kick things off.
The Tracer for EQO. Already probing here. Interesting to see Poco on that Sombra. Definitely a different look thrown at us already by the Philadelphia Fusion. Scouting having been completed, they are going to swap up here. They know they're going to be going up against a very durable composition now.
I think it maybe originally they thought that Atlanta would come out with something different, but the reason that Philadelphia doesn't fight that is because if they go and fight it, most likely they end up losing with the composition that they had. They give Atlanta the point and ult charge, and then you have to swap, and now you're resetting all of your ultimate charge as well. So you're way behind in terms of ultimate economy.
Sato pushing forward. He gets bubbled pretty quickly. He does want to get aggressive. Enele is down already. Sato mace to face, or hammer in this case it was. Pokpo took a huge amount of damage himself, and Erskine gets knocked out of the mech. Defran very charged up, and he's trying to maintain the front line here, but Pokpo's going to get knocked out by Poco. That's going to be fun as the series goes on. The Fusion select the correct composition. They don't risk losing that first fight. Yes, they give up a quarter of the capture percent, but now they're in control.
Yeah, Enele are just a little bit too far away from the rest of his teammates. They're not able to keep him up, and then they just start isolating players one by one, rolling onto the point. And you look, that 28% looks like nothing now because, if you would have let Atlanta, take that first fight, they're probably sitting here at 50% with ultimates, which looks great for Atlanta. Really heads up play early from Philly.
First ult up here is EQO's rally. Philly will be able to rely on that one. But right now, it's going to be the front line just butting heads a little bit. Here's the speed boost coming forward. Shield was given over towards Sato when he picks up Enele again. The first casualty in 2 fights in a row. And then the rest of the rain will crumble, lacking the backbone that keeps them up.
And how many times in this meta do we see, the team that uses that speed boost and engages and pushes on in, and you almost want to force the other team to react, force them to make mistakes, come in with your own game plan, force the issue on the opposing team, let them be the one that backs up, makes mistakes right there. Philly, they meet them at the choke, they push on through, there's nothing Atlanta can do.
Again from the high ground, Earthshatter here for both sides. The Transcendence is also evenly matched fight in terms of ultimates as they'll be brought to bear. Sato again trying to look around the corner. He's the only one caught in that grab. Transcendence, though, is still committed to try and keep him up. Earthshatter's blocked by the shield, though, and Poco's going to have to wait his turn. Poco in, pushes him back, and EQO's caught in the grab now himself. Self-destruct over the top. Nothing from that one, but Massa already fell Sato. A wild charge will yield the Lucio kill for the Fusion, and they'll keep pushing on. Here's the sound barrier, the self-destruct in the back. It doesn't find any targets, and the Fusion are all over this one. 80% on the clock for them, and they will maintain control.
Atlanta is forced, Massa to hold on to his own sound barrier. You don't want to blow it there because then the game is definitely over. At least this point, 100% would go over to Philly. You'd have nothing in this fight. So you need to hold on to the sound barrier. You think you keep Defran alive long enough to get this grab. They got to get a point touch here within 5 ticks, though.
Sound barrier is what Atlanta's going to need to make themselves durable enough for this push. There it is. They push forward. Speed boost as well. They're all over Philly. That's the Earthshatter. It was a knockdown there. It looks like Defran was put on his rear end. Poco got rid of him, but they trade the Reinhardt as a result. Carpe, great focus fire from Atlanta mid-fight to try and take down that Zarya. And now it is going to be EQO caught up amidst a roiling mass of red. And it's not the blood of the Fusion, no, it's the raiment of the rain. With Boombox falling, they will clean up this fight. Stay in it.
That did not look good when I thought Defran goes down, right, and he's going to have that big Graviton surge, and he drops. I'm like, oh, this is going to be Phillies for the taking. But no, Enlayer with that rally keeps everybody up. Kodak picking up some kills, earning that Transcendence again. Now you take a look at some of these ultimates. You're going to have the Transcendence to block that Graviton surge that comes in from Carpe. They're going to try and combo, the grab plus the self-destruct from Poco. A lot of tools for Atlanta here. That's going to be their grab early. A lot of players stuck inside of it. And they're not, Philly's just going to lose this fight. They're just going to back on out. Nothing they could do there. Nice grab from Defran.
It took a lot of damage early on there, Philly. Usually if that grab comes in and maybe, there's a way of sustaining maybe a rally from your team, you can keep fighting. But Philadelphia are happy enough with that one, knowing that Atlanta have had to use some of those resources. The Graviton obviously being a real fight changer. Carpe has his available now, though, and Philadelphia are poised to retake.
They have to be careful, Philly, to not use the grab and then have Sato go in, just try and make an impact. That'll be a self-destruct that goes through. It connects with EQO. That is horrible for the Philly Fusion.
He was supposed to be protected by his front line, but perhaps some of the explosion managed to creep through. And that's going to be really annoying for Philly, because now they push this round to a one-fight affair, and the Fusion are caught here. They have to stand and fight. This is not what they wanted. Atlanta now can get some more of that ultimate percentage and push them back. Graviton Surge, frivolously used by the Fusion to try and stay in it, but they make one crucial misstep at the final moments, and the Atlanta Reign, they capitalize. Poco desperately trying to get onto the point just to stall out here, but he's nothing but a small distraction, a trifling affair. The Atlanta Reign will get that first round.
I think Atlanta, towards the end there, they caught Philly off guard. So EQO drops for Philadelphia, and they just kind of like back out into that mega health pack room. And I don't think they expected Atlanta to get so aggressive. And Poco comes around the corner and lands like a 4-player shatter, and they just run through them.
Oh, he was split. He wasn't behind his...
the
boop. Beautiful. That's nasty. Was that Enlair coming in, I think, with maybe the shield bash or whip shot to put him into the explosion? Either way, lovely setup. And it's moments like that, you often see them, a lot of these displacement abilities become very important dealing, with these heavy tank compositions or with self-destructs, knocking players into the blast that otherwise be safe from. That's why that Lucio play has been at such a premium lately. It's so important to secure those very difficult kills otherwise to get.
I like this setup from Atlanta coming out. You have the Orisa, really great shield at time, and the double sniper. And Lair takes out Sato right off the bat. Philly is gonna have to back out. So, you're able to control the point. Right here, if you're Philly, they're going to make a change, but the Winston can't really do much. Jumping into the Orisa, just a ton of damage. You have the Fran there.
Oh, it's time to pony up, boys!
I like this. This is what I like. So, Atlanta comes out with this comp, and Philly, they lose their first fight, but they're like, we don't mind playing this type of game. We'll bring our own double sniper out.
That was all Philly last season. The Hanzo Widowmaker combo, the double sniper. We thought it was a thing of the past, but now it makes its return. Poco, he took heavy damage there, but it was Boombox caught out by the Hulk. Now this fight's already over. Now it's just a cleanup here, and Philly really can't get away quickly enough. They don't have a Lucio in their team composition, so when they do get players picked off, they pretty much just have to feed as quickly as they can.
And Mitch, that's exactly what I was going to bring up, is that when you see Orisa on one side, obviously her shield has great uptime. She's very difficult to take down. You have to get behind the shield to do a lot of that damage. That's where you see Lucio played, against Orisa a lot of the time. You use that speed, you get right past the shield, then you're able to take her out. When you just kind of play this long-range poke, you're just going to keep seeing the Orisa just put shield down after shield down after shield down.
First barrier put down by Sato, disintegrated rather rapidly. And a Sonic Arrow now from the Fusion. They can keep tabs on the Reign even though they're inside that cloister on the right side. And now they tentatively move forward. Sato places down a new shield. Here's the Dragon Strike coming through. They're trying to force that front line away. Poco got picked off by Boombox, but he gives up his life to secure the Orisa from the Reign. And Lair was too sharp on that Widowmaker, but he's brought back into the fray. Sato boot forward though. The Reign want to run forward over the top of the Fusion, but Equo won't let it happen. Defran goes down. And now the Transcenders. Philadelphia are setting their feet. They want to fight right here.
Have to use the trance to keep EQO alive, as Poco on the point, he's really weak. You see Sato switch over to Wrecking Ball. You're going to use that to try and just get off the high ground, land down. Ursa's going to throw his self-destruct and trying to catch some players through the doorway. Both supports for Philly. They back on out. This should be the last fight, though, for Philadelphia.
That was Carpe. I don't know if there's going to be a Resurrect available from Neptuno there. He does have Valkyrie. Okay, brings Carpe back. The Widowmaker 1v1 reinstated. Now to Sound Barrier, though, when Lair gets out of trouble, he wants to look for Neptuno, but he's a little bit too slippery to catch currently. Perhaps a better target he might be served with. Carpe, met him at the door! Takes him down, and Kodak's missing as well. That's 2 for Carpe. Self-destruct. Po's Bongo is down. The Supercharger is removed, and Carpe fancies a little bit of close quarters. Now it's all Philly set up on this point. Atlanta with just the Lucio and really the Diva just to hold on. Masso goes down. Poco deals with him, and finally, the Fusion managed to get a foothold in this round.
Yeah, so Sato, when he goes over to Wrecking Ball, he actually tries to go all the way to the back line to put some pressure on both snipers. It's a really nice sound barrier by Masa, connects with everybody, but then Carpe just comes on the flank here. He's able to pick up some close range stuff that is filthy.
Yeah, and he gets a second as well. Here's the setup. Poco just trying to keep tabs on the point, but they've lost EQO again. A pick-off may decide the fate of this fight. Dragon Strike comes through, and Poco has to get away very quickly. He could have lost his mech to that ability. Boombox is missing. Defran now hunting for targets. Double back and take a left-hand at Albuquerque for the health pack. Sato is pressuring point, but there's Carpe. Sato cleverly communicating that to Carpe. He knew where his opponent would be. Now Carpe trying to get away. He knows that he'll be run down by Urstra eventually. and there's running out of options for Philadelphia Fusion. Sato sets up a minefield, but he can't step onto the point. They've brought back Carpe, though. Philadelphia throwing all their eggs into the Widowmaker basket right now. They need to try and retake here. Enlair's down. Sato's getting aggressive. That's his second one. Shield up on the point for Pok, but he does get Sato, but the Transcendence is now brought to bear. EQO recalls. Philadelphia with the numbers on the point. Erster over the edge, and they will just stay in the running.
Oh, Neptuno using Valkyrie, able to fly up in the sky, keep Sato alive. He's able to pick up 2, and then he actually takes out 1 player with his weapon. And then you have Boombox come in with that Transcendence. The Fran now will play Tracer, so you're gonna have that Tracer to go behind enemy lines, and they're actually gonna have Popo switch over to Winston. So you want to dive, put some pressure on Carpe here, allow Enlair to hit some easier shots.
Fairly tentative positioning from Enlair. It's not very aggressive. He spots EQO out, now knows that he's been caught in the Widowmaker's sights. It's hard to find a clean shot with all these shields on the point right now, but Atlanta, this is dangerous. They're threatening to retake the point. Carpe opens up the fight, though. Enlair is down. First blood now to Philadelphia Fusion, but Carpe will be pressured away. It doesn't matter, though. Masa's down to a pulse bomb elsewhere, and Erster's over the edge once more. Atlanta must regroup for one last crack at this, but Philly looking dominable.
DeFran ends up using the pulse bomb here. He's gonna fall pretty late, so they're 94% and counting. It looks like, it's gonna be very tough for Atlanta to get a touch here. Pokeball gonna go to Wrecking Ball, barely gets on the point.
Boombox might be threatened though. Drops it on top, and so much damage from Pokpo here.
Uh-oh. You lose Sato, you lose Boombox. Players from Atlanta getting on the point.
This is dangerous times indeed. Erster now just trying to make sure Philly stay inside that small room. EQ always nowhere to go. They're trying to get a resurrect here, but elsewhere Enlair is down. They brought Boombox to the fight. Carpe with 2. That's what Philly were looking for here. This is how they stay in this fight. Transcendence now over the point for Boombox, and Erster on high is desuited. The Wrecking Ball now coming in for Sato. He's more than happy to bring that one right on down. Sound barrier only really for Pokpo here, and the Fusion maintain control, but it's not over yet. Popo drops back in again. Poco pressure down. It doesn't matter. Oh, this is going to be a good map, man. I feel it. What a piece here on NEPAL.
Now the map looks like it's done. And then you had the self-destruct there from Erster connect with 1. Masa gets 1 as well, and looked like they may have been able to turn things back in their favor. Look at the angles, dude. Like, Carpe's so sneaky, like.
Look what he's doing under pressure as well. 2 players.
They needed 4 players.
Yeah, that's right. He killed 2 players, and then 2 more were committed to dealing with him. That takes so much pressure off of the rest of the Philly Fusion lineup, who were at that time working tooth and nail just to get the point.
I always find it incredible that, like, obviously, 3 players coming at him. You hit 2 crazy shots. It's just how long you survive as like a Widowmaker at Carpe specifically in that type of situation, able to just kind of get creative, go on some flanks, and stay alive for a long time. So Philly's gonna switch. It's gonna be the same thing we saw in the first one.
Yeah. Atlanta coming out with that triple tank, triple support, and Philly don't really want any of it. I mean, it's a little bit tough for Carpe on that McCree to find meaningful ways to get value. So much healing on Atlanta makes it a little bit tricky. So again, Philly will abdicate the point to Atlanta for that first fight. They don't want to take the risk, which I can appreciate here. They can't really interfere with it as it is being captured, but now they're set up on the high ground. Where to from here?
I know that. I mean, obviously, Atlanta wants to fight this close quarter on the point. Like, they're in control, holding the point here. As you see the Discords coming down.
Big charge, a lot of aggression. Kodak's pretty safe from his current spot here, and Philly haven't managed to break through the front line yet. Atlanta defending this point like they would Helm's Deep. The Discord orb on DeFran doesn't seem to bother him at all. Poco down to about half, and EQO's taken an absolute battering thus far. We're looking to build up towards a critical mass here. Would Philly want to pull the trigger, and DeFran's more than happy to fight. He's well charged.
And Atlanta's going to get their Transcendence a bit faster here than Philadelphia. Both teams just kind of like poking and prodding on the point. Nobody really wants to commit until now Atlanta uses the sound barrier.
EQO the first to drop, and they do a great job of cutting Sato off from the rest of the Fusion. He got booped and bopped around, and there was no one that could save him, not even a life raft. And amidst that fight, Atlanta had control of the point the entire time. So they're already 54% on capture progress, and they have a bunch of ultimates to boot.
I mean, they'll have everything but the sound barrier they use to engage in that fight. You know, you get a few players weak. You see, you know, teams just kind of bouncing back and forth. There's not really like a main healer on any of these compositions when you do this. So, be the Graviton Surge, Transcendence comes out, self-destruct as well. Sound barrier here from Philly as well.
Poco tries to Earth Shatter there, but he's actually knocked into the air. He can't land it.
Oh!
Poco is back in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Not a moment too soon either. And really very little Atlanta could do at that point. That exhausted all of their ultimates. And the self-destruct into the backside was the straw that broke the back.
I mean, Atlanta is still in a very good position here, Mitch. You know, 85%. They don't have any ultimates right now. So what they need to do is they need to try and, you know, maybe get a player down like pretty low and then start to push on in, which will force Sato to maybe shatter or EQO to rally, then come back in one of those next fights with an ult advantage.
Should just be EQO rallying, moving forward. Philly trying to force a mistake, get a good shatter. That's two there at least. Erster knocked down. Enle's already fallen. Neptuno is in there like swimwear. A one-for-one trade and they lose Sato there, so perhaps not the clean fight they were looking for.
But if you push here, though, EQO is going to have to rally to keep everybody up. So you see Carpe picks up Poco. Now you see Atlanta's going to back out. They kind of got what they wanted. They got both of those ultimates I was talking about out of the way. So they got the Shatter gone. They got Rally gone. They're going to come back. They're going to have their own sound barrier. They're going to have Transcendence. You're going to get closer towards your own Earth Shatter. You're going to be able to build up some of these big ultimates to combo for one really big fight.
Atlanta dipping their toe in the water, stuff bar. Not really wanting to commit, but now might be the time. Sato, he definitely wanted to brawl. And again, he's extended so far. Boombox desperately tried to keep him alive with the Transcendence, but was just a little too late. And now the Rain get aggressive themselves, pushing up. You see Poco has to look on in dismay as the rest of his team are turned into chum. EQO down to Kodak here. And Atlanta are definitely looking to retake it for this fight. Neptuno will fall at the end. And that's it.
And obviously a really strong fight there for Atlanta. Even stronger that they hold on to a lot of these ultimates. I mean, you got Shatter, Rally, Grab here. The Fran's gonna throw the grab down. You get Poco D-Max. You can't even push through there. You're just stuck.
98%. Philadelphia being kept out completely. It's a shutout. Atlanta Reign. They know when to back away. They know when to fully commit. Really coordinated. Their disengages look fantastic, and they will, as a result, take the first map of this series away. Nepal. Love to see that coordination. Philly Fusion have much to answer for when we return.